Potentially Skarner, maybe situationally the Urgot. But I think FlyQuest have a really strong draft. I think they are very powerful in the 5v5. Pushing in, you can see they're stacking up this huge wave, and they're going to look for a dive here. This would be devastating if FlyQuest died.
Masu and Busio. They got to play this one right. Canyon going in. They already popped the heal at the very start from Gen.G. Busio taking a ton of damage here. Canyon's getting locked up. Lahenz eats another turret shot as Bwipo goes forward. Canyon's still trying to get away. The Urgot not going to get a kill on anybody as now Bwipo's in danger. Pace shifts forward. Busio and Masu still fighting, still fighting. Double knockout. First blood over to Masu. Double kill over to Masu. FlyQuest, play it.
Doesn't have the TP available. Lahenz is already here to the play. Chovy has the power, but they dive bot.
Bottom lane, Pays at 200 HP. Masu has to get rid of the turret aggro now as Pays is still fighting, but it ain't gonna matter. Kathian Rain buries Pays underneath the tier 1 turret, and FlyQuest claim a 3rd kill for their marksman.
A crucial set of sequences happened on the map. While Gen.G gained the advantage on the grub, they did so by bringing Lahenz up. FlyQuest needed to make a cross map happen, and they rightly do it. We talked in game 1 about playing with the nameplates off. They didn't look at Pays' names, they just saw an Ezreal that should have died.
Bwipo in trouble as Canyon trying to make his presence known up here on the top side. Bwipo's locked up, beat down. Canyon gets Gen.G on the board.
And they get that huge punish now on Bwipo with no time. It's going to be about the grubs here. They rise in importance as we are going to see Gen.G claiming the first dragon, claiming the first 3 grubs. It really is, right? And if they get access to those towers, they are going to punish you. Chovy's going to be playing heavily through sides on the Silas, so that is a concern. As Bwipo will get jumped on, but should be able to walk it out. And I think the thing is for FlyQuest, their read is we outscale.
Bwipo gets tagged by the stolen ulti. Chovy going in, trying to get the execute threshold. Remember, it's 25%, but they don't do the damage.
They're going to win because they're going to say, you know what? Sure, we might win this one. Maybe it's 55-45. But guess what? In 10 minutes, it's going to be 70-30, and we'll fight you then.
FlyQuest working towards that. On the other side, though, Gen.G, it's also an amazing poke tool. Well, Gen.G is going to get their first turret of the game here in the bottom lane. Canyon came down to apply enough pressure to force Bwipo to step back so that Keen is able to secure the turret. But now it's Keen under pressure. FlyQuest going in for the fight. Bwipo will lead the charge as Inspired on the approach right next to Busio. Keen doing a good job kiting these guys out for now, but his goal is only to buy time. There is no escape here for the Crocodile, and Quad gets the 4th kill for FlyQuest, but the trade in mid lane is there. It's the Rift Herald summoned up by Gen.G. They use it to force the tier 1 turret down, and Lahenz drives it back into the tier 2. Now Inspired and Busio show up to force Lahenz back, so ultimately Gen.G do close the gold gap despite FlyQuest getting the pick down in the bottom lane.
Flank.
But a TP up in the top side now as Chovy could be in trouble. Bwipo moving in, still moving towards this guy, slows him down with a grenade, and now trying to get that extra little bit of space. Disdain with the flash! Bwipo finds Chovy, but where's the rest of the damage? Busio wants to go in, but he will not get his man. Inspired still hanging around here. Farsight trinket from Gen.G to stop the FlyQuest jungler. Canyon showing up, and another TP is coming in from Gen.G. Inspired is way too far forward, and surely he dies. Gen.G with a beautiful punch back.
An overstep from FlyQuest as Bwipo finds a great trade onto Chovy, but ultimately it's a net gain for Gen.G. They might even be looking for more as FlyQuest is forced. Maybe FlyQuest just say, we'll concede it, maybe look to cross-map that tier 1 tower in the top lane.
Yeah, FlyQuest also, you got to look at the item power spikes. Not fully completed 2nd item for Quad yet compared to Chovy, who is at the mark. Down to the bottom lane, Chovy going in with the stolen lightning crash. Quad with a sidestep away from multiple ultis as Busio counterattacks with the quickness, but Gen.G still got more men. Inspired wants to go in and find some sort of an angle here for the ulti. He only gets Canyon, another knockup, but the Gen.G jungler's way too tanky. Inspired's gonna die again if he's not careful as Keen kills Bwipo down in the corner. Lahenz still retreating. He's got the unbreakable, but how breakable is he? Masu goes on a rampage, and Chovy keeps running. Canyon regenerating with the Warmogs now, and that could be the difference. FlyQuest now feels the pressure. They've got to continue backing away. Keen can't join because he doesn't have a teleport, but Gen.G's feeling confident.
It's good kiting there from Gen.G. Canyon has regen, and they couldn't get in on Pays. I think come out ahead.
There's not a lot of lockdown on the side of FlyQuest. Their overall crowd control is surprisingly limited, which means that in these extended fights where FlyQuest can keep hitting, there's worlds where they can win out on the fight, but trying to burst down that single target, they couldn't actually keep Canyon still enough.
To poke and prod and harass back here, as we'll watch this fight one more time.
So we look back at the 1v1, Bwipo ended up getting outplayed, able to get the knock back, but it's kind of just two beefcakes slapping up against each other. And
exactly. I mean, when these Ezreals are positioning really well, using the shift perfectly, getting that bonus damage in, as they're going to look for a pick on Bwipo. If he goes forward, he's probably dead.
Yeah, Bwipo's in some danger here, flashing out, but Keen's ready to flash follow. Bwipo getting stunned up, chain CC'd by Canyon there with a Glacial Prison. Bwipo's buying a lot of time, but it ain't enough. Steric's Gauge won't keep him alive in that one. And Quad's here, but now he's got to be a little bit careful himself. Tries to throw the zap over to continue getting a little bit more slow. Masu just barely not going to land the Void Seeker.
Mid and top tower, and FlyQuest, it feels like the pressure is continuing to mount.
Back to what we were talking about at the very beginning of the game when FlyQuest got that double kill in the bot lane.
Canyon's behind him.
Canyon coming in. Gen.G making their move. Inspired's going to be the target here, but he tries to force the enemy front line back. The Skarner's locked up in the front. He's going to get beat down. The Steric's ain't going to matter yet. Again, he drags two back. Into the back line goes Chovy. Inspired flashing away to barely stay alive, but now Bwipo's going to be in danger as well. The first kill is going over to the stolen ulti, and Chovy puts Bwipo in the grinder. Now Pei's got to be careful. There goes your Void Seeker. Pei's still getting away for now. Masu trying to fire a few more of these off. Quad and the rest of FlyQuest trying to get at least a little bit of mid lane pressure here. They're down a man. They got to be careful as they continue retreating. Inspired went back to the base to heal, but now Masu's got to be careful. There's your use of that cleanse from the Mikhails. As again, Gen.G continue the chase, but Masu's unstoppable. Lehens went in too far. Zap shoots out of the wall, and Key's got to be careful. So much pressure, but it's not enough. Masu cuts them down. Oh, ye of little faith. Believe in Masu on the AD carry. Chovy still trying to escape. He dashes back over the wall, and FlyQuest take a huge fight.
And they're going to go to the Baron Flowers. They're going to go straight for it here. Bwipo is chasing for the kill. He has his ulti up in a second. He'll see if he can find Chovy, but it's Masu, the Canadian sniper, stepping up and getting the triple.
And Bwipo even finds Chovy. He damages him with the grenade over the wall. Chovy's death is going to be certain. It is going to be delayed, and FlyQuest just found their moment.
Targets, gets into the back line, playing with the confidence. It's Masu taking over the fight against Gen.G.
Bwipo just loving it. You can even see some surprise there on his face, not even believing what's going on for this team now. As the Drake is alive, FlyQuest is going to take this one without a contest to tie these up at 2-2, and they've got the Baron for another 2 minutes.
I mean, you see now why they have so much faith in Masu, why they put the resources into him, why Bwipo is willing to give...
Dragon, during that fight, was about 30 seconds off, and they chased with nothing left. No ultis, all the engage tools were gone. They invested everything to get that kill onto Inspired, and they paid the price. Now Inspired looking once again.
Inspired's got to be careful here. Remember, this is the same spot of the map that he overextended previously, and it cost FlyQuest. But now, the state of the game, his Blade of the Ruin King completed on the Zeri. FlyQuest push continues as Canyon, Pei's, and Lehens will back away from the tier 2, while Chovy takes a tier 2 over in the mid lane. Be able to knock this one down. You're already seeing the early recall coming out from Bwipo, and now a TP onto the last remaining cannon minion as FlyQuest is sending more men to approach from the side. Inspired should be the first one there, as Bwipo should make it so that Keen cannot find an escape. He tries to run into the alcove, but a nice use of the Scryer's Trinket to make it so Keen doesn't have a chance to teleport away in time. Masu waiting on the tanks to lead the way first, and immediately Inspired just slams Keen right back into the wall. They put the money where the money belongs, and Masu gets kill number 8.
Masu
in the bottom lane, tier 2 turret in their sights, and Gen.G nowhere to be found. Fly, knock it down.
We'll give Flowers that opportunity to get his breath ready as we build closer to that ever-important fight. They both take placement in the mid-wave. They contest, and here we go.
With the flash disdain, Canyon's going to be your target here in the front, but a nice counter-attack coming out from Chovy. Beautiful stolen Skarner ulti. Isn't enough. Masu's low. Killer Instinct to give him the shield to try to stay alive as Keen dives into the back line, and Bwipo's already going to be killed. Top for top. 1 for 1. Masu, legendary, but FlyQuest bleeding.
Yeah, and Masu has no resources here. Are they even going to try to stay around? He's got no summoners. They got to go back to base. Gen.G win the fight off the back of that Chovy ultimate. Inspired tried to get one of his own, but it was only on Lehens. It's Chovy who makes the difference.
Chovy stepping up when Gen.G need him. To win a fight down 7,000 gold is absolutely insane. Gen.G secure soul point.
Quad pushing out mid here is going to be able to get this tier 2, so the gold lead does extend. but soul point for Gen.G with the most powerful soul.
FlyQuest will, if nothing else, have control over the topside river to secure vision for the Baron.
Masu now on true 6 items here. FlyQuest starting up the Baron.
TP coming in from Gen.G. True shot barrage flies out from Pays. Only hits Inspired. Baron down to 60%. Keen is on the flank, and FlyQuest do not know. They've got to be careful about this one as they continue DPS here for the Baron. Kanan and King gonna step up. Masu's already under pressure, and immediately Busio was about to die. Keen's gonna get bursted down to the front line on the other side, and Masu stays alive. He's still firing, still fighting. Quad pushes forward, goes to the killing spree. 4 versus 3, but Pays fights back. A beautiful shutdown over the Ezreal as Bwipo jumps into the disdain. Pays goes into the stratosphere, and Masu goes legendary. FlyQuest just killed everybody but Canyon. They're back on the Baron.
FlyQuest has knocked Gen.G to their knees. David is beating Goliath.
To send him back to base.
And you can see the look on Busio's face. That has to be the stress of that play where he was exploded at the very beginning. Bwipo, pure joy, the love of League of Legends, the love of competition as FlyQuest with a 5-man push. Now in the bottom lane, trying to crack the base of Gen.G. Keen and Chovy on the side. Chovy with the stolen Rakan ulti, look for the quickness as Busio jumps in. Turret's already down. FlyQuest forcing the issue, but a true shot barrage over the top of 4 is going to try to hold the line for Gen.G. They continue backing away. FlyQuest took a couple of hits, but they claim the inhibitor. Now, at a 10,000 gold deficit, they're gonna need something even greater. True shot barrage with no results this time. Chovy eating a little bit of damage as Inspired moves forward, and the second inhibitor will fall.
They're gonna have to give up this dragon here, give up their shot at the soul for now, and hope that they can hold the line in their base. But FlyQuest
spawns in 5 seconds.
Exactly, and they're just going to go right in onto the Baron. Their supers still moving up mid lane here. It's going to get very difficult. FlyQuest can just 2-man this while the rest of them look to block out Gen.G from responding.
Masu does a ton of damage to this objective all by his lonesome. Canyon would lead the charge for Gen.G. Chovy has lost a good chunk of HP here in the approach. The FlyQuest squad just trying to buy a little bit of time to secure the Baron, but Bwipo might die. Quad going in for the lightning crash. Gen.G are dying. FlyQuest have already killed everybody. FlyQuest will push Gen.G to the absolute limit. They will take a 2-1 lead.
It's Quad with the Quadra. FlyQuest march on the Nexus.
The first Nexus turret, the second Nexus turret, the Nexus itself will all fall to pieces. FlyQuest are one.
These were the best highlights from today's Worlds 2024 matchup. Click that subscribe button faster than Ramus can say, okay. See you on the next one.